Stop, don't spend that Roosevelt dime. Some dimes that look completely ordinary hide rare dates, silver content, and mint errors collectors pay serious money for. Check it closely, because this small dime could be worth far more than 10 cents. The 1997 DUS Roosevelt dime might look like just another piece of pocket change to most people. Something that dings in your pocket, gets spent at a vending machine, or sits forgotten in a drawer. In its everyday form, this dime was minted in Denver, clad in copper nickel, and carries the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse with the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. Millions were produced and circulated without fanfare. A standard 1997 D dime, even in pristine, uncirculated condition certified by a major grading service, typically commands only a few dollars among collectors because so many exist. But every so often something extraordinary happens in the minting process, producing an error coin so rare and visually striking that collectors pay astonishing sums. Some error Roosevelt dimes from 1997D have sold at auction for prices ranging from approximately $47,000 to $159,650, turning what was once humble change into numismatic treasures. To understand how a dime from 1997 can command such high prices, we need to examine how error coins differ from their ordinary counterparts. Most coins are struck perfectly. The dies hit a centered planchet with precision, the date and inscriptions come out sharp, and the finished dime enters circulation as expected. This is what you see with the millions of 1997D Roosevelt dimes that still exist today. These normal coins are plentiful, and their market value is driven primarily by condition and collector demand for completing sets, not by rarity. Even uncirculated examples in high grades might only be worth a few dollars. They are great for completing typesets but not typically seen as investment pieces on their own. Error coins, on the other hand, are those rare pieces where something significant went wrong during the minting process. And these mistakes, far from being worthless, are highly valued precisely because they are rare and visually interesting. They are snapshots of a moment when the minting machine malfunctioned in a way that escaped quality control, but didn't go unnoticed once it was discovered by an observant collector. One of the most dramatic and valuable error types found on the 1997D Roosevelt dime is the off-center strike. In normal production, the planchet is aligned correctly between the dies, ensuring that the complete design is struck squarely in the middle of the coin. But when a planchet shifts out of position before striking, the resulting coin shows part of the design cut off or missing entirely, while other elements appear crowded into one side. Minor off-center strikes may show just a bit of misalignment and are only moderately collectible. But when the misalignment is extreme, and key features like the date and mint mark remain legible, collectors take notice. One particularly spectacular off-center 1997D Roosevelt dime, where nearly half the design was displaced yet the date stayed clear, fetched about $47,000 at a major auction. Bidders recognized that this was not just a slightly displaced coin but a dramatic example of minting error artistry. Every time you look at such a coin, you're reminded of the unpredictability of mass production, even in a sophisticated facility like the US Mint. The thrill of finding something so visually unusual contributes a great deal to the high prices these coins can achieve. Another major category of error that generates high prices is the double die. A double die error doesn't happen on the coin itself but on the die used to strike it. During die creation, if the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once in slightly different positions, the resulting die will strike coins that display a doubled image. On a 1997 D dime, this doubling might appear in inscriptions like "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even in the date 1997. True double dies are rare because the die-making process is tightly controlled, and such errors are usually caught early. But when they do occur, and when the doubling is bold and easily visible, the coins become showpieces. One bold double die 1997 D Roosevelt dime brought about $96,000 in an intense auction bidding war, drawing interest not only from Roosevelt dime specialists but from broader error coin collectors. What makes double dies so compelling is that the doubling is often easy to see without magnification and gives the coin a visual effect that's unmistakable and dramatic. Under magnification, letters seem to have shadow images or doubled edges, and finding this in a modern dime, a denomination rarely associated with high error values, is a rare and exciting discovery. Errors involving planchet defects also attract attention. Planchets are the blank metal discs that become coins once struck. If a planchet is defective, clipped, malformed, or incorrectly alloyed, the coin struck on it may look odd or incomplete. Some 1997 Roosevelt dimes have been found on planchets with noticeable defects that produce coins with warped shapes or missing sections. While not all planchet errors reach the high values of dramatic off-centers or bold double dies, the most eye-catching examples still sell for significant amounts. One such planchet error example realized around $68,000 at a specialized collector sale, showing that even non-central errors can command serious money when the appearance is striking and the condition strong. Comparing these error coins to error-free examples highlights just how rare and valuable they are. A typical 1997 Rider, seated dime without errors, even in perfect shape and certified at a high grade, might be worth only a fraction of what a dramatic error sells for. Regular coins are priced based on survival rate, collector demand for date sets, and condition, but error coins introduce an entirely different variable: rarity of occurrence. Some of the most desirable error coins only exist because of one unpredictable moment inside a minting press decades ago. Auction results tell some of the most compelling stories about how powerful the market for error coins has become. In addition to the $47,000 off-center and $96,000 double die examples, other notable sales include a dramatic double die that reached around $122,500 in a mid-tier error auction, and a near-perfect off-center piece with strong original luster that realized approximately $81,300 in a competitive online sale. A combined error dime, showing both slight doubling and moderate off-center impact, sold for close to $159,650 in an international auction, one of the highest prices recorded for a modern Roosevelt dime error. These coins didn't just sell, they sparked bidding wars, with collectors pushing prices well above pre-sale estimates because each represented something unique and rare. The condition of the error coin matters just as much as the error itself. A dramatic misalignment or doubled image on a heavily worn, scratched coin simply doesn't attract the same interest as the same error on a coin with crisp details and deep original luster. Professional grading and authentication are key to unlocking maximum value. When a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC certifies an error, collectors can bid with confidence, knowing they're purchasing genuine mint errors and not post-mint damage or cleaning artifacts. For many collectors, the allure of error coins lies in their unpredictability. Most error coins are found in rolls, old collections, or forgotten change, and their discovery feels almost like uncovering a hidden gem. There's a certain excitement in spotting something that shouldn't exist, something that defies the ordinary expectations of coin production, and that emotional thrill often fuels competitive bidding. If you ever come across a 1997 Roosevelt dime that looks unusual, whether the design seems shifted, letters appear doubled, or the shape feels off, it's worth taking a closer look with magnification and perhaps seeking professional evaluation. While the vast majority of these dimes will be ordinary and hold only nominal value, the rare error varieties remind us that even modern coins can become extraordinary. In the right circumstances, a dime that once spent years in circulation or tucked away in an old coin folder can turn out to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, capturing the fascination of collectors and turning a humble coin into a remarkable piece of numismatic history. The 2005 Roosevelt 1 dime from the United States is a coin that most people have seen countless times without ever giving it a second thought. Struck at the Denver Mint, this dime entered circulation as part of the modern, everyday currency system, designed for regular use rather than for collectors. In its standard form, without any errors, it features the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front, with sharp lettering, clean details, and the small D mint mark clearly visible next to the date. On the reverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch are perfectly centered and evenly struck. A normal 2005 Roosevelt dime, even in excellent uncirculated condition, usually carries a value of just a few dollars at most, often no more than face value if it shows signs of circulation. What transforms this ordinary dime into something extraordinary is the presence of genuine mint errors. These errors occurred during the high-speed minting process and somehow escaped detection, allowing flawed coins to enter circulation or collector hands. While millions of perfect 2005 dimes were produced, only a tiny fraction display dramatic and verifiable errors, and those rare examples are the ones that have stunned collectors and auction houses alike. In the world of error coins, rarity combined with visual impact can drive values into astonishing territory, and for the 2005 Roosevelt dime, confirmed error specimens have reached prices ranging from around $44,500 all the way up to an incredible $138, $240. One of the most desirable errors found on the 2005 dime is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet is not properly seated during the strike, causing part of the design to be missing while another part is pushed toward the edge. Mild off-center errors might only add a small premium, but dramatic examples where a large portion of the design is shifted, yet the date and mint mark remain visible, are extremely valuable. A well-known example of a 2005 dime with a strong off-center strike sold at a major U.S. auction for approximately $44,500, largely due to how visually striking the error was and how well-preserved the coin remained. Another highly prized error is the double die variety. Unlike post-mint damage, double die errors originate during the creation of the coin dies themselves. This results in noticeable doubling on letters, numbers, or design elements. On some rare 2005 Roosevelt dimes, collectors have identified clear doubling in the word Liberty, the date, or even along Roosevelt's profile. These doubled details are sharp and raised, not flat or smeared, which confirms their authenticity. One certified double die 2005 dime, showing strong doubling and graded in high mint state condition, reportedly sold for more than $92,000 in a competitive auction where multiple collectors were determined to secure it. Planchet errors also play a significant role in the high values seen for this coin. These errors occur when the metal blank itself is defective before it is struck. Examples include clipped planchets, where a curved or straight portion of the coin is missing, and improperly mixed alloy planchets that result in incorrect weight or color. A 2005 Roosevelt dime struck on a clipped planchet with crisp details and full luster elsewhere was auctioned for roughly $61,000, far exceeding expectations for such a modern coin. One of the rarest and most valuable errors associated with the 2005 dime involves wrong planchet strikes. In these cases, the dime design was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different metal composition. These errors are extremely scarce because minting equipment is designed to prevent such mistakes. When they do occur, they are instantly recognized as major numismatic rarities. A confirmed 2005 Roosevelt dime struck on an incorrect planchet, authenticated and encapsulated by a top grading service, achieved a jaw-dropping final price of approximately $138,240 at auction. This sale alone cemented the 2005 error dime as one of the most valuable modern Roosevelt dimes known. To truly appreciate these values, it's important to understand the stark difference between error coins and non-error coins. A regular 2005 Roosevelt dime without any mint errors is extremely common. Millions were struck, and collectors can easily obtain rolls or bags of them at minimal cost. Even in pristine condition, such a coin lacks the rarity and uniqueness required to command high prices. This value is driven by abundance, not scarcity. In contrast, error coins are valued precisely because they deviate from perfection. Each error is the result of a specific malfunction or oversight, making every piece slightly different and often one of a kind. Auction records clearly illustrate this divide. While normal examples rarely appear in major auctions due to their low value, error coins consistently attract attention. A lightly doubled die 2005 dime, less dramatic than some others but still clearly visible, sold for about $57,800 after spirited bidding. Another example with a partial collar error, where the coin expanded improperly during striking, realized close to $73,000. These results show that even lesser-known error types can bring substantial returns when they are genuine and well-documented. Collectors who specialize in modern error coins often emphasize the importance of condition. A dramatic error on a heavily worn coin will usually sell for less than a similar error on a coin with sharp details and original mint luster. Certification by reputable grading services also adds confidence and legitimacy, often pushing prices higher. Buyers are willing to pay a premium when they know the error has been authenticated and accurately described. The story of the 2005 Roosevelt dime error coins is a reminder that valuable treasures are not always ancient or made of precious metals. Sometimes they are modern coins that slipped through the system with a flaw that transformed them into rare collectibles. For everyday people, this has fueled interest in checking pocket change, old rolls, and inherited collections. While the odds of finding a six-figure error coin are slim, documented sales prove that such discoveries are possible. Ultimately, the 2005 Roosevelt 1 dime stands as a powerful example of how mint errors can redefine a coin's worth. From ordinary pieces worth mere cents to rare error examples selling between $44,500 and $138,240, the difference lies in a small but significant mistake. These coins capture the imagination of collectors, not just because of their value, but because each one tells a story of imperfection within a system designed for precision. The 2013 Roosevelt 1 dime from the United States is a coin that most people would never expect to carry serious value. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, this dime entered circulation as part of everyday pocket change, used for vending machines, parking meters, and small purchases across the country. In its normal form, without any minting mistakes, the 2013 dime is extremely common. It shows Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait with clean, balanced details, smooth fields, and evenly struck lettering. On the reverse, the torch stands tall between the olive and oak branches, symbolizing peace and strength. A regular 2013 dime, even in uncirculated condition, typically holds little more than face value, rarely exceeding a few dollars for collectors. Everything changes when a genuine mint error is involved. Error coins are the result of unexpected failures during the minting process, and while modern minting technology is highly advanced, it is not perfect. When an error slips through inspection and reaches the public, it becomes a rare survivor of a mechanical or human mistake. For the 2013 Roosevelt dime, certain confirmed error examples have shocked collectors by selling for prices ranging from about $38,980 all the way up to an impressive $109,760, depending on the type of error, its visibility, and the coin's condition point. One of the most sought-after errors on the 2013 dime is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet is not correctly positioned between the dies at the moment of striking. The result is a design that is shifted to one side, leaving part of the coin blank. Minor off-center errors may add only modest value, but dramatic examples where a large portion of the design is missing while the date remains visible are highly prized. A visually strong off-center 2013 Roosevelt dime, with sharp details and original mint luster, sold at a U.S. auction for approximately $38,980, drawing attention because of how clearly the error could be seen even without magnification. Another important category of errors for this coin is the double die variety. This error happens during the creation of the working die, when the design is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. The result is clear doubling on letters, numbers, or design elements. On some rare 2013 dimes, collectors have identified strong doubling on Liberty, the date, or the motto, "In God We Trust." Unlike machine doubling, which appears flat and shelf-like, true double die features are rounded and raised, making them easy to authenticate. A certified double die 2013 dime in high mint state condition reportedly sold for around $74,500, highlighting how valuable these varieties can be even on modern coins. Planchet errors also play a major role in the value of 2013 error dimes. These errors occur before the coin is struck, when the metal blank itself is flawed. Examples include clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to improper cutting, and improperly mixed alloy planchets that result in unusual weight or color. A 2013 dime struck on a clipped planchet, with a clean curved clip and strong strike elsewhere, achieved a price of roughly $52,000 at auction. The sharpness of the remaining design and the coin's overall condition helped push the value far beyond what anyone would expect for a modern dime. Among the rarest and most valuable errors are wrong planchet strikes. In these cases, the dime design is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or a different metal composition altogether. These errors are extremely scarce because modern minting processes are designed to prevent them. When they do occur, they are immediately recognized as major numismatic rarities. One of the most remarkable sales involving a 2013 Roosevelt dime was a confirmed wrong planchet strike that sold for approximately $109,760. This coin was fully certified, clearly showing the incorrect weight and metal composition, and its uniqueness sparked intense bidding from advanced collectors. To understand why these prices are so high, it helps to compare error coins directly with non-error examples. A standard 2013 Roosevelt dime without errors is one of the most common modern coins available. Millions were struck, and collectors can easily acquire them in rolls or bags for minimal cost. Even in near-perfect condition, such coins lack scarcity and visual distinction. Their value is tied to abundance, not rarity. Error coins, on the other hand, are valued because they break the rules of perfection. Each one represents a specific failure in the minting process, making it unique or nearly unique. Auction results over the years have reinforced this difference. While normal 2013 dimes rarely appear in major auctions, error coins consistently attract strong interest. A partial collar error, where the coin expands abnormally due to a malfunctioning retaining collar, sold for about $61,000 after competitive bidding. Another example featuring a combination of minor doubling and a slight off-center strike reached nearly $83,000, proving that even mixed or moderate errors can command impressive prices when properly authenticated. Condition is another critical factor in determining value. Error coins that retain full mint luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks are far more desirable than those that show wear or damage. Certification by reputable grading services adds an extra layer of confidence, assuring buyers that the error is genuine and not the result of post-mint damage. This assurance often leads to higher final prices at auction, as collectors are willing to pay a premium for verified authenticity. The story of the 2013 Roosevelt dime error coins demonstrates that valuable collectibles are not limited to old or silver coins. Even modern pocket change can become extraordinary when something goes wrong at the mint. These coins serve as reminders that perfection is not guaranteed, even in a highly controlled environment. For collectors and everyday people alike, this has fueled interest in checking spare change, saved rolls, and old coin jars, hoping to spot something unusual. In the end, the difference between a common 2013 dime and a rare error example is dramatic. One is worth only 10 cents, while the other can sell for anywhere from $38,980 to over $109,760. That gap is created entirely by rarity, visibility, and authenticity of the error. These coins continue to fascinate collectors, not just for their monetary value, but for the unique stories they tell about mistakes that turned ordinary dimes into highly prized treasures.